W.M.S.T podcast. It's a big one as we are going to begin with our non-spoiler Avengers Endgame review. So let's introduce you to the cast for this episode. We've got Editor-in-Chief Ziggler.
Yo, what's up? Excited to talk non-spoiler Endgame.
Yes, very excited to give the viewers our wake thoughts. And we've got Tyler.
Hello.
I got to come up with a gimmick for you.
No, you don't.
Okay, we'll talk later.
No,
And
we will.
speaking of gimmicks, we got the man with no gimmicks, Cam.
I haven't seen the movie yet. I want to feel like a kid at Christmas pie.
Which I'm certain you will. And of course, Hound.
I survived the end game, kinda.
Yeah, I guess
He's more
so. We
depressed
wish.
than he was beforehand.
True, yeah. All right, so with that, let's begin our non-spoiler talk for Avengers Endgame. And just for a reminder, this is a non-spoiler talk, so we won't be giving away any spoilers. We'll just be talking about our general thoughts on the movie and give you guys our score. There will be a separate
And if
spoiler.
if you want to hear our spoiler talk, you can check it out on our channel too.
Yeah, there's a separate video that'll be posted with the spoiler talk. I'll get started. In my opinion, of course, Avengers Endgame is an all-time classic. Like, there's no getting around it. Like, this movie is gonna be remembered as a moment in pop culture. It's gonna be called back for many years, 30 years from now, 40 years, 50 years. People are gonna be talking about this. This is truly a turning point in comic book and cinematic storytelling in general. But yeah, other point I wanted to make was just how difficult it is to talk about this movie without giving away any spoilers, which of course we won't, but that just tells you how much this movie had it going. And Russo brothers and Feige did an amazing job of building anticipation for this movie with the "Hey, don't give away spoilers" kind of campaign they ran. It's a genius campaign because it makes people think like, "Oh my God, what happened? What's going on?" It kind of creates this uncertainty, and it makes people want to go see the movie right away, because it's like, I wonder why they're guarding this movie. They're keeping this movie so close to the West. I gotta go see it. So it creates intrigue for the general audience. I mean, the hardcore audience is gonna be there day one, but you gotta get the casuals in if they are to break into the 3 billion club. Other than that, amazing cinematography in this movie. A lot of shots were wide and very cinematic looking. The scope of this movie is just absolutely insane. There's sometimes you're just speechless as how big the scope of this movie is. The really badass moments in this movie are captured very well and are pretty much engraved in your brain. Like, the first time you'll see the moments, you'll just remember them forever. Amazing. Uh, there's abundance of callbacks and Easter eggs in this movie. Um, like, people are gonna be dissecting, looking at Easter eggs for, I don't know, like probably years to come. Like, I think every time we watch this movie, we'll probably notice something new that we didn't notice the first time. And that's the thing about this movie. The more times you watch it, the more you feel like it's giving you a gift. It's basically a gift that keeps on giving, you know? Yeah, but overall, other than that, I was talking about this on my spoiler talk, but this movie definitely overtakes The Dark Knight as the greatest comic book movie of all time. And this is after 10 years, was able to give The Dark Knight a rest and became a successor to that movie, in my opinion. And of course, without a doubt, I am going to give this movie my highest rating, a 10 out of 10, all-time classic. With that, let's go with Tyler, your review for Avengers Endgame.
All right. I'll be honest. I don't really know how to give this movie a non-spoiler review because I'm really afraid I'll slip up and say something. So I'll keep it short. Um, I will just say you have to see this movie. If you're an MCU fan, you have to see it, obviously. But I know a lot of just casual fans, non-MCU fans saw Infinity War. If you saw Infinity War, you will enjoy this one. It's 11 years of story building, and it's amazing. It's all worth it. The scenes in this movie, I went on in my spoiler talk. They're just the best you'll ever see in any comic book movie, in any movie in general. Um, that just I got one tip for you. If you have not seen it yet, just make sure you go to the bathroom before the movie and don't drink too much water in the first half hour like I did. I had to pee for like an hour and a half. That's all I got. I don't want to slip
Like a
up on
jug,
accident.
kids.
Yeah. Just don't drink too much water during your movie. Like I said, that's all I got. I don't want to accidentally say something, ruin it for Cam and everyone.
And your score?
Easy 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. All right, sounds good. And yeah, I like that you brought up. Yeah, if you have you even seen one Marvel movie, like if the only Marvel movie you've ever seen is Thor: The Dark World, go see this movie. Like,
Go see it.
go see it. Yeah, there's no getting around it. If you're a movie fan in general, you gotta see this. Like,
Yeah, this is the biggest movie like of all time.
yeah, you
It's
cannot miss this.
It's gonna
Yeah.
compete for with Avatar for the highest.
Just watch it.
Just watch it. Please watch it.
Just watch it.
Watch
Yeah.
it, damn it.
Watch it. All right, Hound, you're up.
This is the best superhero movie ever made. I think this movie works better. Definitely if you watch every single MCU movie before, not Infinity War. Like if you watched all the MCU movies during Infinity War, yeah, great, you did a good job. But I think that matters a lot more for Endgame because of all the stuff. And Infinity War and Endgame kind of is like just one movie instead of two different like movies. Like they definitely should like release this movie as like one big like gigantic Avengers movie like they did with Lord of the Rings with the like extra 3 hour 4 hour cut they did. I don't know. And this movie is it lives up to the hype. Uh please don't don't let this amazing movie get spoiled for you because there's so many awesome things happen. So many things happened out like, yo, I never thought I would see that in the movie, only in a comic book. But yeah, it's you see it in live action, which is just beyond amazing. Uh, please just go watch it. This is gonna change your life forever. And I just hope, I'm praying for the day for where DC gets this level of hype, and then it's Marvel and DC kind of competing with each other, trying to make better and better movies, and then that would just be amazing for the fans. And like, yeah, this movie
Your
just
score?
beyond 10 out of 10, literally best, like hands down best anything superhero ever created.
Sounds good. All right, Ziggy, you're up.
Um, yeah, I guess I'm gonna just side with Tyler. It's fucking hard to review this movie without any spoilers. Like almost impossible. Okay, but I'm gonna give it a try. Um, this movie has a different it has like a different pace from Infinity War. Infinity War was just like it was just like more like it was more like fast paced. This movie was like just like the aftermath of the snap, and it was in my opinion better than Infinity War, and it is the best MCU movie of all time, and I just can't wait to I literally can't wait to buy this on 4K Ultra HD and watch it over and over again, because it's just so goddamn good. And just everything with Alan Silvestri's score and just the beautiful direction by the Russo brothers. It was just well made, and it I'm I have no idea what else to say, so I'll just give it my score. That's a 9.8 out of 10.
9.8 out of 10. And we had Sean earlier break the scale for the first time in WMST's history and give this movie 11 out of 10. So with that in mind, with his score,
He's
this
on his
movie,
Dave Meltzer bullshit.
yeah, he pulled a Meltzer right there. So with that, the movie we rated was 10.2 out of 10. It's a crazy thing to say, but that's what we gave it. So yeah, that's our non-spoiler review for
too low, it's
Avengers
too low.
Endgame. Too low, says Tyler. But we'll see how Cam scores it next week, and we'll give you guys an updated score and another spoiler talk with Cam next week. All right, so with that, let's talk some wrestling. This is part 2 of our podcast. So there's been a weird situation going on in WWE for the past few months. It's definitely a wind of change with AEW rise and their announcement. Wrestlers have been unhappy. They've been shocked by how much the AEW guys are getting paid. And a lot of them are, after being unhappy, are requesting their releases from their contracts. Some of them have been granted their release, such as Hideo Itami and TJP, and some other people that were, but some haven't been so lucky. That includes Sasha Banks and Luke Harper, who have been very unhappy with their situations and are requesting a release from their contracts, which WWE at the moment is not granting them, as they have missed time with injury. So WWE has the ability to freeze their contract and add months to it. So I wanted to get your guys' opinion as to what you think of this whole situation with Sasha Banks and Luke Harper. Ziggler, you're up.
Yeah, Luke Harper, he tweeted out recently that he asked for a release, but I don't think WWE granted it yet, did they?
Nope.
No, they didn't.
Yeah. And Luke Harper, it was one of my favorites. He's one of the best working wrestlers on the WWE roster right now, and I just wish they would have used him right. Like back in 2017, WrestleMania 33, Sean and I were like excited because we thought for like maybe like for like a split second that Luke Harper was gonna get put into that triple threat match with Orton and Bray Wyatt for the WWE title. That would have been a big push for him, and it would have been awesome to see that. Like they almost set it up, I think, but it didn't really work. Not that they didn't do it, unfortunately, and I wish they would have, because that match sucked, and Luke Harper would have made that match great, because he is one of the best workers working in WWE right now. And yeah, it just sucks that WWE didn't use him well. So I'm hoping he goes back. He has a bigger name now that he's been WWE. So hopefully he can go to like maybe ROH or maybe AEW. So yeah, and unfortunately he also doesn't have the look that WWE wants, so that makes it harder for him too. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's what.
breakthrough. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my problem with that. And yeah, that's about it. Also the Sasha Banks thing. I really don't know what the fuck's going on with the Sasha Banks thing. I'm hearing things like left and right, like I don't know what's going on with her. I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's just maybe
Right. Like.
maybe it's just that time of the month, and she's just acting up because of it. I don't know. Women, man.
Maybe.
But yeah, I kind of agree with you. Like it's like I don't know. Like she did sign a new contract back in May of 2018, which is last year. So she knows she's been getting booked not the way she wants to. I wouldn't say her booking is bad. Like
I mean,
wouldn't
it
say
kind of is, because like her booking is kind of bad, because every time she wins a title on the main roster, she loses it like in like a month or two, which sucks, because
Right.
she's a good worker, but she also
Can't catch
botches
a
a
break.
lot.
Yeah, and she can't catch a break with, like you said, the titles, inconsistent storylines. But at the same time, I feel like eventually everything will be all right for her. She is part of the Four Horsewomen, and they are high priority somewhat for WWE. Well, only Charlotte and Becky and Bayley and Sasha are like. Well, I mean, they did get the first ever tag titles.
Charlotte and Becky are the
Sasha,
biggest ones right now.
Right.
And Becky, and Bayley and Sasha took a backseat right now. Mostly Bayley, but right now it's the main ones are Charlotte and Becky. But Sasha, she can. I don't know. She's just she's pissed, and I guess like I would kind of be pissed too, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's
is
another
she
thing.
Like not showing up for work? Is that it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's not showing up for work. Like they granted her a few days to think about it, but apparently she's contemplating sitting out her contract, which actually
if I don't show up for work for a few days, they'll fire my ass.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's
so
just
I don't know, man.
It's a stalemate. That's what they're saying.
There's also rumors that she might be going to AEW or something.
Granted, they grant her release.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
We'll see how. I heard all day.
Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, Cam.
If she does go to AEW, that's a big pull for them, though.
Oh yeah, true, definitely. Yeah, Cam, go ahead.
I'm hearing things left and right about Sasha. Like, oh, it's like 1 minute it's stalemate, 1 minute she wants to sit out. I'm hoping that they can come to an agreement, because I like Sasha. I think she's a good wrestler. It's just her booking is very finicky. 1 minute she can be 1 minute she's a champion, another minute she loses it in 5 minutes. 1 minute she's a big deal, 1 minute she's having an on again, off again mind games feud with Bayley, where it's just, I hate you, no, I love you, no, we're tag partners, no, I want your. It's weird, it's complicated. I'm hoping that they, like I said, I hope they can come together with a actual agreement, because she's actually one of the best that they have. As for Luke, I've always liked Luke Harper. He's always been one of my favorite wrestlers. The real downside to it is they've never really used him as much. Well, after 2017, when he was that close to breaking through into the title picture, and then they just cut the legs off of it. I mean, if he was granted his release, that would have been fine, because he would have been pushing through to the Indies, and would have been pushing through to the Indies, and he could have gone to ROH, or he could have gone to All Elite. He could have gone to New Japan for all I care, or even Combat Zone. I do hope that they can come up with something. If he wants to go, he wants to go, but it's not right just to tack on 6 months just to make sure he doesn't leave. If he wants to leave, he wants to leave.
Right, that's another thing. I think there's a multiple things they want to do when it comes to that. Like, because here's the thing, they don't want to give AW talent like Luke Harper and Sasha Banks, but at the same time, they themselves aren't willing to use them in their own product because they don't have anything creatively for them. So it's a
What can
double-edged
you do?
sword.
What can you do with a sweaty backwoods horror film hick anyway?
Right. I mean, a repackage would make sense in a way
Look,
because I
they
mean he's
just
a
did
great
that with
wrestler.
Luke and Eric Rowan just last year. Remember the Bludgeon Brothers?
Yeah.
And how lackluster that was, besides that
I
one
mean,
guy that screamed in the job match.
right. But I mean, WWE wrestlers. I mean, back in the day, they used to go through a lot of repackages. Like, I mean, Kane went through like 4 or 5 before he became, the Kane we know. So I don't know. It's weird. But I do hope they come up with an agreement, like you say, and eventually have Harper used in some capacity because he's way too talented to just sit out his contract, just like Sasha. I think it's a bad look for them, and hopefully they come up with an agreement. And Hound, your take?
Oh, and one more thing. Plus, Luke was just on the When Worlds Collide thing.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, that was a pretty good match. And Hound, go ahead.
Sasha Banks. I have a soft spot for Sasha Banks because when I was watching NXT back in like 2014, the golden years, Sasha was like up there as one of the top women there, and also she is from my hometown of Boston, Massachusetts. I don't know what that was. Also with Stina, so I do have a soft spot with Sasha. I love her. I was like Hell in a Cell 2016 when she main evented. That was just all around amazing, and uh yeah, like they're not using Sasha to her full potential. They are literally wasting her. Like as all of you like previously said, she wins the title, and then the next week, the next month, she loses it. Like it's a relentless cycle, and it's BS. I hate it. Everybody hates it. Everybody is sick of the Sasha cycle that they even made fun of it on live on WWE television. Like it's becoming kind of a meta joke. And honestly, I really want to see Sasha leave WWE and like cut off again, like feud with Bailey, as Cam said. Like 1 week they love each other. 1 week, oh I hate you. I hope you die in the womb. The other, and then the next week, oh I love you. Kiss kiss. And then it's like, what? The best part of that feud was Dr. Shelby's return. Literally
Yeah.
the only best thing about it. And
And even then, it wasn't that good to begin with.
yeah,
The segments weren't even
like
that good.
yeah, and like it really sucks because Sasha was so great in NXT as a heel, and among other things, and she just I don't know what it is because anytime any NXT wrestler gets brought up, they're immediately wasted for the other talent, and they're just not booked properly. Like
Yet
Vince,
there are exceptions to the
yeah,
rule.
there are definitely exceptions. I do agree with that. Like I don't know what Vince's vendetta is against Triple H. Maybe not wanting Triple H to succeed, even though like he's kind of ruining his company in the process. Because John Cena's, for me, already left WWE because he's in Bumblebee. He might be in a future Fast and Furious movie with The Rock. Cena's gone. Cena pulled The Rock 2004. Cena pulled another person wrestler who went to Hollywood. Like Cena's gone from WWE. Everyone like Randy's gonna be gone soon. He has like 4 kids, and they need to start building new stars. And sorry to go on Little Lamp, but yeah, well, and like Luke Harper as well. I'm glad he's also leaving WWE. They never booked him or treated him good when he was out of the Wyatt family. best time he was booked when he was inside the Wyatt family or as the Bludgeon Brothers with Eric Rowan. Seriously, like, what's wrong with you, WWE? You have one of the best guys on your roster, and you don't use him to his full potential. Same as Cesaro. Like, his Intercontinental match with Dolph Ziggler and TLC, one of the best matches on that damn card. Might be the match of the night, probably because TLC pay-per-views usually suck, and they also was great moments. And
Well, except for 2016 and maybe last year.
yeah, and then like really, like, anytime he was in the Wyatt family, he always treated good, and then they put that stuff in the trash. Now Bray Wyatt is like Mr. Rogers now. Like,
Wait. Let's not talk about that yet. Not
Oh.
yet. Don't talk about that yet.
yeah, I wasn't. I just
Not
wanted
yet.
to reference it. And yeah, like, seriously, WWE always like wastes on the wrestlers who are good, but maybe it's because they can't cut a good promo, or maybe it's just they have too many damn wrestlers on the roster. Who knows? There are millions upon thousands upon a bunch of a bunch of different problems that go on backstage that we will never know about. But yeah, that's my little rant. Sorry for taking too so long.
Yeah, I do agree with you on a lot of points. Yeah, very well said. All right, so with that, let's talk about something that has
Speaking
been.
of Bray Wyatt,
Before we get to Bray Wyatt, there's actually a topic we got to talk about. A dream match is going to take place at Money in the Bank. AJ
Oh?
Styles became number one contender to Seth Rollins' Universal Championship.
Really?
Oh, you didn't watch Raw?
did you not
No,
watch
I
the
was
television
watching
show?
Arrow. I was watching Arrow, so I wasn't
Have you
really
not
Oh.
watched the
Raw.
television show lately? Vince McMahon has lost his mind.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I didn't
only
watch
watched
Raw
the
either,
halftime.
but I heard about it.
Yeah, I've only been watching the last hour or so of Raw because I watched
Yeah.
Heroes and Legends.
Hound, you literally busted our balls when you said to us, "You don't watch Raw on a weekly basis." I do, and now you're saying you didn't watch Raw. You
I do.
hypocritical piece of
What
shit.
I
What a
still watch Raw
callback.
every week. I still watch WWE
Uh-huh.
weekly, though.
Syed, quote.
He misses one Raw and everybody loses their
Syed, and I
mind.
quote, Seth Rollins and AJ Styles is happening at Money in the Bank. Hound. Really?
That's awesome. That's awesome, dude.
Really?
That's been in my
I
dream
watch
match since
weekly. Did not watch
2016
Raw.
when AJ Styles returned to the.
All right, let's get on with the
Yeah, so
topic.
Right off
basically,
topic.
it's a huge match. I mean, these are two of the biggest stars for, well, Seth Rollins for Raw and AJ Styles for SmackDown for the past 2 years, and it's a dream matchup that you would think that would only happen on Survivor Series or something, when the
WrestleMania?
or WrestleMania, like a big matchup. But we're getting it next month at Money in the Bank. So I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on the matchup. Ziggler, go ahead.
I've been wanting this match ever since I saw AJ Styles walk down the ramp at Royal Rumble 2016. My God, these are the best two professional wrestlers on planet Earth right now. Not named Kenny Omega. But yeah, these two wrestlers, well, they're the best in WWE. There we go. Well, I can't say. Okay, they're two really they're great, and AJ Styles is a fucking legend, and Seth Rollins is the future. Well, he's been the future for years now, and now he's Universal Champion, thank God. And I cannot wait for this match. I'm like when he got Styles got drafted to Raw, I wanted this match, but I wanted it maybe like at SummerSlam or
Right.
like Mania or something like that, like a big show, like Money in the Bank. Like Money in the Bank's not a big show. I'm like, all right, I guess, but like, I mean, I'm still gonna love it and watch it and enjoy it because it's AJ Styles versus Seth fucking Rollins. Like, who is not going to enjoy that match unless they pull a Shinsuke AJ on us? But they better fucking not. But yeah, I can't wait for this match, and yeah.
Yeah, true. Same. And Tyler, you had a quick thought on this match. Go ahead.
I like these two guys. I know that. Money in the Bank. I feel like this is a WrestleMania match, like you guys said. These are like the two biggest guys on Raw and SmackDown, like you guys said. I don't really know what this. Is there a storyline at all yet or no?
Nah, yeah, he just became like
He
number
just
one
became it.
contender. Yeah, and both are baby faces, so it's like a respect thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'll have to watch that match. When is Money in the Bank?
May 19th. Yeah, May 19th.
Yup, my network is
May
canceled by then.
19th.
I will find a
May
stream.
19th.
Sounds good. Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah,
Cam,
that seems like a
go
fun
ahead.
match.
Yeah, true. And
This is
Cam,
a
go ahead.
match that I've actually been wanting. I really wanted this match for the longest, but not yet. Not at a low-key pay-per-view like Money in the Bank and more SummerSlam or WrestleMania. I mean, sure, I'm glad I'm getting it, but it's too early for it. Like, they've been doing this for the longest time, actually. Rather than waiting on a big-time money-making match like they put on a pay-per-view, they rather just get it out of the way or put it on free TV or put it on a random pay-per-view. Like, for instance, No Mercy 2017, Cena versus Reigns was a WrestleMania-worthy match, and they wasted. They wasted on a B pay-per-view like No Mercy.
Right. I mean, do you think it's better early than never in a way? Is that the case with this?
For them, it's better early than never, but hey, I can be patient. Some fans can be patient. Like, we can wait. It's only 3 or 4
Yeah.
months until SummerSlam, so might as well wait on it.
Right.
Yet they're not gonna wait on it.
Yeah, we're getting it right away. I mean, also at the same time, their other options are very limited in a way. So it's like they booked themselves to be like, we gotta get this match for going. We gotta get this feud going in a way.
They could have put Baron Corbin here because Rollins needs a
Like a yeah, like a
like
feeder, like
yes, a feeder.
yeah, like a guy he can job, like Baron can job to Rollins real quick.
Pretty
Build
much
him up.
like what Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans is.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. And Hound, go ahead.
I'm so excited for this match. Seth Rollins is one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE in the past like a long time. Like I even grew my hair just so I can like resemble Seth Rollins because he's like my favorite wrestler. Like and also AJ Styles has been consistently one of my favorite wrestlers since he debuted in WWE of 2016, and he has been kind of like not really having like amazing match of the night, match of the year matches lately. Maybe since WrestleMania 35, I would say he's never really had like a match where you could be like, yo, that match one of AJ Styles' best since maybe I don't know. I really can't think of one right now, but I am I'm so pumped to see one of the two greatest wrestlers in WWE besides Kenny Omega go head to head and in my favorite pay per view, by the way. I don't know why y'all shitting on Money in the Bank because Money in the Bank is my favorite pay per view and Money in the Bank is one of the most important pay per views in WWE history. Like, like, be, like, literally, it's so important. Like, like you need to know who wins because they will be WWE champion. Hopefully, if they don't pull Damian Sandow, like that was some BS. And this match, hopefully, it lives up to the hype. of AJ Nakamura, because the AJ Nakamura didn't really build up the hype at WrestleMania. It fell flat, to be honest. I didn't really like that match. Hopefully the Rollins AJ match is completely different, and it's like, yo, that was the best AJ Seth Rollins match ever, best match of the year. Let's go, yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, hopefully it competes for match of the year. All right, so with that, let's talk about our third topic for part two. Oh, wait, hold on one second.
Speaking of Bray Wyatt,
Oh yeah, you can continue the topic. Yeah, that's the next topic. Bray Wyatt. Go ahead, Cam.
so last Monday on Raw, Bray Wyatt returned with a brand new vignette called the Firefly FunHouse, which is mainly just a parody of things like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or Blue's Clues or what have you. It's one of the weirdest vignettes that they've done in a long time and probably up there with most talked about vignette of the year. I've been wanting to talk about this ever since it showed up. It's I've I've I have a lot to say on it, so I hope you're sitting down and Ziggler, I hope you can make this a clip just as an explanation thing. I'm
Okay.
going to explain the entire vignette and the new gimmick. On the surface, Bray looks innocent and he's changed and he's saying he's changed, but on the inside, he's probably lying and it's gotten worse. The segment itself is more along the lines of something like a Happy Tree Friends or an Eric Andre or a Tim and Eric or a Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, but it's more influenced by the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared videos, where it's innocent at first glance but has a dark turn in it. I actually really want to see more of this stuff. Like just 1 week wasn't enough for me. It's like I have to study this thing just to see how it goes. Like just it go further and further down the rabbit hole. Like you have like give me more of this. Hook it into my veins. Now, there's actually plenty of videos out there on YouTube explaining it a lot more. Like, I recommend What Culture's video explaining the Bray Wyatt segment. There's even videos out there actually bashing the thing. It's more like it'd be better to just say, I don't get it, than to just out and about bash it. Meanwhile, this didn't kill Bray Wyatt's career. Sister Abigail killed his career. Exploding televisions killed his career. Being the box ghost with empty threats killed his career. This just rebooted it. This just brought it back from the grave. I hope that they do more with this. I want to see more. Meanwhile, and another thing, this actually has been the most that Wyatt has been talked about in a long time. Probably ever since Mania 30 with Cena or 31 with The Undertaker. He's actually being talked about again. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Ordinary, because Bray is just a different character than what was portrayed on Raw. But the more you watch it, the more you understand. Like, okay, this is Bray on the inside, but there is a facade that's going on, and it's kind of creepy in a way, and also hilarious, like meme generator. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, the character delivers the materials it needs to be even more memorable. I'm gonna give it a
Like it
chance.
has to be it has to be something actually good. Like it has potential. Maybe if they could give him creative control and maybe it will go all out and actually go to its fullest potential because they actually have examples of this. Like Daniel Bryan's gotten some creative control, and that's how we've gotten the great heel run that he's had in the past few months.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's another thing. He is working very closely with the creative on this gimmick, which is not which is an honor not a lot of wrestlers get. So I'm happy for him that he's able to be working with a character like this and having creative control. So yeah, definitely he gets to keep that control and because I think he has a very bright mind because he was the one who came up with the Bray Wyatt initial cult leader character. So uh, we'll see where it goes. All right, and Hound, you're up.
Honestly, I love it. I, I love this whole new idea of Mr. Wyatt's neighborhood. I love Marcy the Buzzard. I love the creepy Page doll thing. I can't wait to see how the bunny gets involved in all this. And it kind of reminds me of when I was a child with when Disney had Disney Playhouses, I think it was called. I don't know what it was called, but like it does remind me of when I was like when I was like 2 years old or something. And like Cam said, this is gonna be like some sort of twisted thing where like the more we see of this new Bray Wyatt, the more we're like kind of see some darkness kind of like leak out, kind of like this is kind of like a creepy like slow burn kind of a gimmick maybe, and I'm excited to see where this goes. And judging by the recent picture we've shown off with Bo Dallas, I think it's Bo Dallas. It could be Bray Wyatt, but if it is Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas look like twins, and maybe Bo Dallas is involved in this. To be honest, I think that would be pretty cool. Or maybe someone else from the Wyatt family. Like we know it can't be because Luke's gone and Eric's with Daniel Bryan, kinda, because Daniel's injured, sadly. But I'm really excited to see how this new Bray Wyatt gimmick evolves, and hopefully WWE actually gives this time and effort, kind of like they were giving Elias. Like they are still kind of giving Elias, like they give him like weekly spots and stuff, and like for him to grow and build his character when he should be a champion by now. Anyways, this Bray Wyatt gimmick is gonna be freaking incredible. It's gonna be one of the. It's probably gonna be one of the. It's probably gonna be better than Matt Hardy's broken gimmick. Oh, has anyone?
Wow, that's a bold claim. Yeah.
Yeah, I really feel
Well,
like this has. Bray Wyatt's been gone for like 2 years or something, so he's been working hard on this.
Like he's been gone since
SummerSlam last year.
summer, basically.
Yeah.
Plus,
So
he's in excellent shape. He's lost a ton of weight, and he's gotten.
yeah, he
Yeah,
looks
Bray Wyatt got that
very
glow
healthy.
up.
Yeah. True. And Ziggler, your thoughts?
It's fine.
Does it? That's all you got for that?
I don't know what else to say. I mean, when I was watching it, I was just like, the fuck is
Shook.
this? I mean, it was weird, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess like what Cam said, this didn't kill his career. Sister Abigail did.
Right.
But
Appearing in drag.
the only match that I remember liking of Bray Wyatt was Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt at the Royal Rumble. That's the only match I've ever liked him. Other than that, he's boring as hell. So I'm not a fan of his.
He's had a ton of good matches. Besides the Bryan one, he's had a payback match with Cena. Besides the
Yeah,
minus the
okay, yeah. His
finish,
Cena, his Cena rivalry was good, but that was like back in 2013. Same with the Bryan match. Same with the Bryan rivalry.
same
Like
with Ambrose.
everything out of like 2013 or 2014, he's just been boring to me.
He's
Yeah.
literally been nothing. This is literally going to be a shot in the arm for him.
Yeah. Could be definitely. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, I'm very excited for the character though, because it's also something different. It's a very different character than what you see from a lot of other guys. So that's always very exciting. All
I
right.
think they just captured lightning in a bottle and nobody notices it.
Right. Could be. Yeah. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Plus, this didn't stumble under their laps like the rise of Becky Lynch and Kofi Kingston. They pretty much planned this. They probably planned this instead of stumbling into it.
Right, right. Yeah, they stumbled. That right. You're right, definitely. All right. So with that, let's talk about the NBA playoffs. The last time we talked about it was 2 weeks ago. So the first round matchups have actually just finished tonight. So let's talk about our main takeaways from the playoffs so far. Now, as for me, the matchup that really entertained me and had the most like crazy moments was, of course, Damian Lillard versus Russell Westbrook, Blazers versus Thunder. Like that matchup, the 5 games they had were all very entertaining, and a lot of surprises ended up happening in the series. Uh, George struggled for a bit. Russell didn't have that much of an impact on the first 2 games, and Lillard and McCollum really carried the Blazers. And Cantor, who was known as a liability on defense, ended up providing some solid defense for them and some very solid offense as well. He was a very good low post presence uh, for the team, which they thought they would be missing when Nurkic went down from with an injury, but didn't really matter. But of course, the moment we gotta talk about that shot that's gonna be replayed for many years to come.
And
Tied
that
one,
meme face.
right? That meme face
It
Oh
tied,
riddles
Lord.
Derrick
Yep.
Rose.
right? Tied 115. Uh, from from almost the logo, half court shot. Damian Lillard pulls up in the face of one of the best perimeter defenders in Paul George, and he knocks it down. Splash, and that's the end of the series. Dame waves them goodbye, and on to the next series. Russell Westbrook says next question. Damian Lillard says next series. Very poetic moment because the series actually began with uh, Damian Lillard hitting the logo shot, and it ended with the Damian Lillard logo shot. I think the series really defines Damian Lillard as a clutch player. I think a lot of people are gonna give him more respect now after the series. Other than that, the other takeaway I had from this playoff was some upsets. Like for example, Clippers surprisingly beating Warriors 2 games, took them to six games. It took a 50-point Kevin Durant game for them to close out the freaking Clippers, an 8th seed. So that just tells you there's cracks in the foundation, and Warriors can be beaten. And I feel like the chance of them not even making to the NBA Finals increased dramatically after being taken to the limit by the Clippers of all teams. And a well rested Houston Rockets can probably beat them in the second round. That is going to be a dogfight because we know Houston is desperate to go back to the finals, the Western Conference Finals, and make it to the NBA Finals. But on the Eastern Conference side, nothing much has changed. Brooklyn had a great performance, but I still think Toronto is going to make it to the uh, the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think they will be the team to become champions at the end of all this. I'm still sticking with my predictions for Raptors winning the finals. So yeah, with that, let's get your guys' thoughts. So Tyler, your thoughts on the playoffs so far and your updated predictions.
Um, man, I'm just gonna go ahead and just start with that shot by Dame. Just
Sure.
good Lord, that shot was insane. It's like he just does it all the time. He did this to Houston, and now he does it to OKC. Like But this one was just, it was so deep, and it was a step back against Paul George, who
Cold blooded.
just, and it's to finish the series, just like Houston. Good, like he waved them goodbye. That face that Cam just sent in the chat, just it's wild. And then later on, he said that's comfortable range for me. Just disrespectful to OKC. I mean, I guess they deserve it for not guarding up on him. Anyways, the other series, I'll just go ahead and say I didn't really have time to watch most of them besides some of the late games, like the OKC Portland final game. So, looking at the bracket now, I'm gonna go for the Warriors Houston series. I'll go ahead and say Warriors will probably win in 5 or 6, maybe 6. Boston, Milwaukee. Milwaukee will take that in 6, since they both swept. But yeah, I'll go Milwaukee in 6. Philly, Toronto. I'll go with Toronto. They look pretty good right now, from what I saw, the few games I watched. And does Denver and San Antonio have a winner yet, or no? Is that tomorrow?
Isn't
Actually,
that still going?
that's a
It's
that's a
going?
good point. I forgot
Okay.
about
Isn't
that.
that
That
tonight?
is it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
I think.
Okay.
It's the
well,
27th over here in Eastern time, so it's today.
Oh yeah.
So it's Saturday night.
Yeah,
or
Saturday night.
okay.
Yeah.
During the day.
That
Whatever.
that
I don't know when.
that series has gone to a game 7. Honestly, any team can win that. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I have not watched that series at all because I do not have time with work and everything. So, I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick Portland for whoever wins that series. Portland and whatever. I want Portland to beat the Warriors, even though it won't happen. Finals prediction: Warriors versus Bucks. Still, Warriors win.
Yeah.
And like,
Sounds good.
I don't know how many Warriors win, probably though.
Sounds good. And Cam, your take?
That shot. Killer shot. Now, I'm mostly getting most of my predictions right. Like I predicted Milwaukee and Boston, and they're happening. Toronto and Philadelphia is happening. Oakland and Houston is happening. Portland, I'm surprised OKC didn't do so well in that series. Because usually OKC is a noteworthy team, usually making it to the second round, but not this year. And I'm kind of tied on Denver and San Antonio. I'm still picking Denver. Milwaukee, Toronto is going to be in the East Finals, and maybe Golden State and Portland. Depends on the series. But I'm mainly just thinking, I'm still thinking Bucks and Warriors winning again.
Yeah, I think that's inevitable, but at the same time, it's like you do find some cracks in their foundation, as in like their defense sometimes just lags behind. But they are better in the playoffs when it comes to defense. Although yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of don't want to see the Warriors win, and you're looking for ways to kind of see their weaknesses. But yeah, I think you might be right. The Warriors winning in the finals. Although I'm still gonna go with my gut feeling of Raptors winning the finals. I don't know, maybe 6 games or 7 games against Warriors.
Did we just have any team beating Oakland?
Yeah, just any team, please, just beat Oakland. Although what do you think about Houston's chances of beating the Warriors? Because they were taken to 6 games by Clippers, and Houston has 3 or 4 days of rest, like almost a week of rest against them.
As long as they don't make the same mistakes as last year, like God knows how many threes and most of them miss.
27 in a row, which is astronomical. So hopefully they don't miss another 27 or whatever amount this year.
Or break their record.
Right. And I feel like they're way healthier now than last year. Hopefully Paul doesn't go down with an injury. So I'm rooting for Houston, but I love Steph Curry, but not gonna root for the Warriors. We'll see how it goes down. All right. So with that, here's our part 4. We're gonna give our Game of Thrones fans a little treat, and the only person on this podcast who's well aware of what's going on with Game of Thrones, the final season, is Ziggler, actually. So here's Ziggler. He's gonna give his review. It's gonna be spoiler filled, by the way. Spoiler reviews for the first 2 episodes of season 8 of Game of Thrones. Ziggler, you ready?
Yeah.
Sounds good. So you're gonna give your review and your score at the end for both episodes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get through this as quick as I can. Game of Thrones season 8 episode 1, titled Winterfell. This was probably the best Game of Thrones season premiere. I mean, all their season premieres are like setting you up for bigger things to come in the season, and I love this episode. So many great moments, like Jon Snow and Arya's reunion, first time seeing each other since the show started back in 2011, and same with Jon's reunion with Bran. And I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it, I love Jon and Daenerys together. I don't care if they're both Targaryens. I've wanted them to be together for a long while now, and yeah, which also brings me to the next scene. I want to talk about Sam finally telling Jon Snow about his true ancestral history, telling him that this whole time he was never a bastard of Winterfell. Jon Snow is a true heir to the Iron Throne, and his real name is Aegon Targaryen. And just wanted to take a moment to talk about the very first time that Jon Snow finally rode a dragon in this episode, and this first ever time, the effects in the CGI was fucking stunning. I understand why it took them so long to release season 8 now, because the CGI is like cinematic. And we've been waiting for Jon to finally ride a goddamn dragon, and he did it, and it was awesome. And the final scene, Jaime finally arriving to Winterfell, and the first person he sees is Bran Stark, who is now paralyzed from the waist down because Jaime pushed him out of a goddamn window back in season 1. But now Jaime is their ally, and he's going to fight for the living in the Great War. And I'll give this episode a 8.8 out of 10. Now, time for Game of Thrones season 8 episode 2 review, titled A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I believe this episode was just nothing short of phenomenal. This episode was just a great way to get you even more anticipated, to get you even more hyped, just to get you prepared for the most anticipated battle in the history, the Great War, the battle at Winterfell. And I can't fucking wait. I can't wait until Sunday. First, we started with Jaime finally arriving at Winterfell to fight beside his former enemies, standing across Daenerys, Jon, Sansa, Tyrion, and finally meeting and Daenerys finally meeting the man who killed her father, the Mad King. Eventually, his brother, the Hand of the King Tyrion, and now Sir Brienne of Tarth, vouch for him, and now Jaime will fight beside them. And later in the episode, a great heartwarming moment when Brienne, who's always wanted to be a knight, she finally, ever since we saw her in season 2, she always wanted to be a knight, and we finally saw her be knighted by Sir Jamie. So now she is officially a goddamn knight and the first woman knight in the Seven Kingdoms. And it was just a heartwarming moment, and it made me tear up because it was just great. Just seeing her character grow from season 2 and now here. And yeah, now we get to the big stuff. Jon Snow finally tells Daenerys Targaryen that his parents were Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen. And now Dany realizing that Jon is now the final male Targaryen and rightful king of the Andals. And when she realizes that, the horn blows. Everyone rushes to the gates of Winterfell. Jon and Dany rush out to sea. You see the snow. Then a dead horse's hoof walks on the screen. The camera pans up as you see hundreds of standing dead horses with white walkers on them, riding the horses with their spears in hand. And the camera pans a little to the right, and there, Winterfell. Prepare for the most anticipated battle in history, the Battle for Winterfell. I give it an 8.9 out of 10. It was just a great episode.
Oh,
I'm here.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to 83 people that actually gave a damn and listened to us. Not spoil Endgame. My virgin ears have
Yeah.
been protected at the moment.
what about your
Yeah, and
eyes?
And eyes.
Okay.
yeah. Hopefully, so just for warning, don't post any Endgame spoilers in the comments. We will delete them. So
We
just
will
be
ban
But
respectful.
your
everybody
ass.
dies in Endgame. Everybody dies.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Spider-Man
even
dies
if it's
again.
yeah. So let's keep it clean. No spoiler talks, but there will be a spoiler review, like we said earlier, posted separately. So go check that out. And thank you for tuning in. And we will see you guys next week.